Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have been watching this show for more years than I can count, and I have to tell you, the current situation between Steffy and Finn is absolutely breaking my heart while simultaneously making me want to shout at the television screen. Sitting here and thinking about the sheer weight of the secrets currently suffocating their marriage, I feel a deep sense of dread settling in my stomach. We have all seen couples go through rough patches, but the level of deception happening right now is on an entirely different scale. Have you ever watched a train wreck in slow motion and felt powerless to stop it? That is exactly how I feel watching these two navigate their daily lives, completely unaware that their foundation is built on a ticking time bomb. Let us take a moment to really look at John Finnegan and evaluate his current state of mind. The man is completely oblivious, pouring his heart out to his wife, pledging his eternal devotion, and swearing that he will never do anything to betray her trust again. Watching him lay his emotions bare like that makes me feel incredibly sympathetic toward him, but it also makes me cringe with secondhand embarrassment. He is acting like the perfect husband, completely blind to the fact that his beloved wife has already committed the ultimate betrayal. Does it not just break your heart to see a good man so thoroughly deceived by the person he loves most in the world? Then we have Steffy Forrester, who is currently drowning in an ocean of her own guilt. I look at her face when Finn is speaking those beautiful words of devotion, and I can literally see the panic bubbling just beneath the surface. She is carrying the heavy, toxic burden of knowing she slept with Carter Walton, and you can tell it is eating away at her soul. My personal opinion is that Steffy has always had a self-destructive streak, but this particular betrayal feels so much darker than her past mistakes. She is desperately trying to push the guilt down and play the part of the happy wife, but the cracks are becoming impossible to ignore. How long do you honestly think she can keep this charade going before the sheer pressure causes her to confess everything? The involvement of Carter Walton in this messy affair is something that absolutely baffles my mind and leaves me feeling incredibly disappointed. Carter has always been portrayed as the moral compass, the good guy who respects the sanctity of marriage, yet here he is entangled in a deeply shameful betrayal with a married woman. It completely shatters my perception of him, and I find myself wondering what on earth was going through his head when he decided to cross that line. The two of them making this secret pact to never speak of their night together is not just foolish, it is an insult to the intelligence of everyone around them. Do you think Carter truly understands the magnitude of the destruction he has helped set in motion? What really makes me shake my head in disbelief is the utter stupidity of Steffy and Carter thinking they can just casually whisper about their dark secret in the corners of Forrester Creations. Have they learned absolutely nothing from living in Los Angeles all these years? I feel a surge of frustration every time they are shown huddling together, casting nervous glances over their shoulders. It is a well-known fact among us longtime viewers that juicy secrets never stay hidden in this town, and their reckless behavior is practically begging for someone to catch them. My prediction is that their little whispered conversations are exactly what will lead to their downfall. Why do these characters always believe they are the exception to the rule when it comes to keeping secrets? Now, we absolutely must discuss Ridge Forrester's role in this entire fiasco, because his actions are filling me with a deep sense of anger and disgust. The fact that Ridge discovered his daughter's sordid affair and consciously chose to sweep it under the rug to protect her reputation is the height of hypocrisy. Ridge has spent years lecturing others about morality, yet the moment his precious daughter commits a terrible sin, he immediately transforms into an enabler, completely disregarding the pain. This will inevitably cause Finn. I feel a strong sense of resentment toward Ridge for this, because by hiding the truth, he is making himself an accomplice. How can Ridge look Finn in the eye and pretend everything is fine while knowing that Steffy has shattered her vows? As I sit here anticipating the inevitable explosion, my anxiety levels are through the roof, just imagining the moment the truth finally comes to light. There is no doubt in my mind that this secret is going to detonate like a bomb in the middle of the Forrester family, leaving absolute devastation in its wake. I strongly believe that a betrayal of this magnitude cannot be healed with a simple apology or a few tears, especially considering the layers of deception involved with Ridge covering it up. The emotional fallout is going to be catastrophic, and I find myself bracing for the sheer agony that will unfold on our screens. Do you think there will be anyone left standing in Steffy's corner once the full extent of her infidelity is exposed to the rest of the family? When I think about how Finn is going to react when he finally learns the truth, my heart aches for the immense pain he is about to endure. This is a man who has forgiven so much, who has fought tooth and nail for his family, only to find out that his wife sought comfort in the arms of another man. My evaluation of the situation is that Finn's love, as deep as it is, will instantly curdle into a profound and irreversible sense of betrayal. The realization that Steffy slept with Carter and that her own father helped conceal the affair will completely destroy Finn's trust. I predict that we are going to see a completely different side of John Finnegan, one that is hardened, deeply wounded, and utterly unwilling to extend the grace he has so freely given in the past. The spoiler that Finn will ultimately file for divorce is a development that I fully support, even though it brings me a great deal of sadness to see a family torn apart. In my honest opinion, divorce is the only logical and self-respecting path forward for a man who has been so deeply wronged by the woman he trusted implicitly. Steffy's actions have proven that she does not respect the sacred vows they took, and Finn deserves a partner who will honor him, not one who runs to another man at the first sign of trouble. I feel a sense of vindication knowing that Finn is going to stand up for himself, draw a hard line in the sand, and refuse to accept being treated like a fool. Is it not refreshing to finally see a character hold their cheating spouse accountable? The most heartbreaking aspect of this entire ordeal, however, is the impending custody battle and the reality that Finn is going to take the children away from Steffy. As a viewer, it is incredibly painful to think about those innocent kids being caught in the crossfire of their parents' toxic choices. Yet, I completely understand and support Finn's decision to fight for full custody, because Steffy has demonstrated a severe lack of judgment and moral stability. My heart breaks for the children, but I firmly believe that Steffy brought this entirely upon herself through her reckless actions and her willingness to live a lie. How do you think Steffy will cope with the devastating reality of losing the daily presence of her children because of one foolish night with Carter? Looking at the broader picture, this entire storyline serves as a powerful reminder that karma always comes collecting in Los Angeles, no matter how hard you try to outrun it. Steffy has spent years acting like she is above the rules, judging others for their mistakes, while expecting endless forgiveness for her own transgressions. I feel a certain level of satisfaction knowing that she is finally going to face severe, life-altering consequences for her actions, because it is about time she learns that she cannot control every narrative. The destruction of her marriage and the loss of her family is a harsh punishment, but in my evaluation, it is entirely justified given the magnitude of her betrayal. Will this catastrophic loss finally be the catalyst that forces Steffy to change? It is going to be an incredibly bumpy ride over the next few weeks, and I know I will be glued to my screen, feeling every ounce of the heartbreak and the drama alongside all of you. Sharing these intense emotional journeys with fellow fans is what makes watching these shows so special, even when the storylines make us want to pull our hair out in frustration. I am deeply worried about Finn's emotional state moving forward, but I am also eager to see him rise from the ashes of this broken marriage and find the peace he truly deserves. We have shed many tears over these characters over the years, and I have a feeling we are going to need a lot more tissues before this current saga reaches its conclusion. Do you think there is any universe where Steffy could have fixed this?